So today we're reviewing Small Spaces by Katherine Arden. It's a 2018, it can be read as a standalone novel, but it is part of a series. And what's interesting is it is technically a children's book. It's shelved in the library under the juvenile section, but I still found it a very well put together story. It's about this 11-year-old girl named Olivia, who her parents are the coolest part of this book, I won't lie, but I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, but she's speeding home one day on her bicycle up in New England. I think it's Vermont. And she'd just gotten in trouble for hitting a boy in the back of the head with a rock because he was bullying another little girl. Anyway, and she's pedaling back home, but she wants to stop by this really pretty quiet creek on her way home. She gets there, and there's like this crazy lady weeping and all this other, like, it is stranger danger written all over it. And so she sees that the woman is about to throw a book into the river. And being the proper little bookworm she is, and I can totally sympathize with her, she snatches the book and pedals as quickly as she can back home. And then that evening, she'd snuck it in past her dad. She reads the book, and it's this really cool book called Small Spaces. And it is about these two men who loved this, it's a woman's diary, or her retelling of her life. Autobiography? Yeah, it's this woman's autobiography where she's effectively warning one of her descendants of, hey, get rid of the farm. And it's this really creepy little tale of explaining how the woman came to be in control of the farm and how she'd been in love with two boys but had picked the one brother, and how the other brother had disappeared one day after a fight. And the mom says, or the mother-in-law to the woman writing, says, hey, if you don't go get your brother, I'll never speak to you again. And so he, Jonathan, I believe his name is, goes off looking for his brother, runs into this being called the Smiling Man, who goes, okay, for a price, I will bring your brother back. And the guy's like, I don't care, I'll pay the price, I just need some peace. So he strikes a deal, the brother comes back, and all seems well, and they all live happily ever after for a time. Until the Smiling Man comes back one day and says, okay, it's time to collect your debt. At that point, the story pauses so the rest of the story can continue, and I'll continue. I'm trying to say it in the most, I'm trying to just say it as the story says it. But anyway, Ollie reads a bit, falls asleep, gets up next day, has to go to a field trip. And they're taking this nice little field trip out to this running farm, and it's cute and cutesy and cool, and everything else is going on until she realizes the owner of the farm is the crazy lady from the day before. And so she tries to hide out, and there's like this creepy bus driver and this really nice milking man who helps run the farm. And I'm going to gloss over some details because I really think y'all should go read it. I mean, yes, I think it's a 4th or 5th grade reading level, but it's still a good book. Anyway, on her way out, they're on the school bus, and it just breaks down in the middle of the road. And the bus driver's of no help, and the teacher gets off, looks at the bus and says, okay, I don't know nothing about fixing bus. Our phones, for some reason, aren't working. I'm going to go walk back to the farm and retrieve some help. And so he leaves all the kids on the bus, and for some reason there's no teacher's aide. So it's just the bus driver, the kids. Ollie's watch says, run. And the bus driver's like, okay, kids, listen, I'll let you know a secret. You really ought to run because they're coming for you. And this is, up till now, the book feels like it moves slow, but then, about now, it just absolutely picks up. Well, Ollie bribes him with food because he's a very odd school bus driver, and she gets enough information out of him to go, okay, she really ought to run. So she leaves. Coco, who is the girl she rescued from being bullied the day before, she goes with her. And then Brian, which is the kid that was not doing the direct bullying, he was just Coco kind of had a crush on Brian and had drawn, little cutesy 6th grader drawings of them together. And Phil had been bullying them, and Brian was involved. And long story short, Brian is the one that got hit in the head with the rock earlier, so they all kind of know each other. And grant you, they're in the same class, but for reasons I'll explain later, they're not actually friends at first. But he goes off and goes, well, someone has to be the voice of reason here, and goes through and follows them, and they're in the mist, and they're lost. And all that Ollie knows is the bus driver says, get to a small space. They can't get you in small spaces. And she's like, okie dokie. And about this time, the school bus siren starts blaring. You know, the one when he opened the emergency door? Well, it starts blaring. They hear kids screaming, and it ramps up from there. And so they are running through the woods scared. Everything's bad. And then they stop dead, and there's this scarecrow with paintbrushes for arms, and above it is written in paint, I think something like, I can see you, or we're watching, or we're coming to get you. And it is absolutely creepy. And so I'm going to say that that's probably enough of the plot line, because seriously, guys, you should go check it out. I think everyone in the family would have a good bit of fun with it. The big thing to know is the book doesn't really pull any punches. All the problems are toned down for the reading audience, but it's not one of those everything is perfect in the world. Because Ollie, for example, one of her big issues that you don't realize until a little later is her mom had died the year prior, and they were extremely close. And she's still processing that because she died in a fiery plane crash. And that has had a lot of effect on her. Ollie, who used to be part of the softball team and the chess club and really outgoing and just a bubbly person, she completely caved in on herself. And despite, and the dad is a good dad. He's trying his best, but how do you tell an 11-year-old that your mom's never coming back? And I think it's really sweet because through the entire time she's carrying her mom's watch, and it's cracked and broken, but you realize as you go on, the mom's spirit is helping her out. It's giving her little messages on the digital watch to work with. And it's like, okay, Ollie's got her problems, and Coco, she's moved from the city, and she's really bubbly and a little bit ditzy, and everyone finds her annoying, even Ollie. But you find out that she's got a lot of depth there. She's also very smart, and she can rock climb, and she's very capable, and I really like that. There's the book pulls zero punches, and unlike Lake House, Brian himself has a lot of personality, and this book allows each character to shine and to have flaws and have growth. Brian, for example, he is from Jamaica, and his parents moved up to Vermont. I forget why, but either way, he is a complete fish out of water, and he's on the hockey team, and he's big, and he's tall, and he's got all this athleticism, but he's also very intelligent and can quote Alice in Wonderland and all this other stuff. And I really liked how the author wrote all three characters, because each one had their faults and had their moments to shine. And while Ollie is the main character, you never feel like she's a Mary Sue. She sucks sometimes. She's not mean or ugly. It's literally just, for example, in the story, they have to cross this old bridge, and she suddenly, she's been scared of heights before, but since her mom died, it has gone from being a little scared to the, oh my gosh, I cannot function. And it's she has times where she's not the one who figures things out. It's the others, and I really enjoy it. And actually, my husband has read the full series, and he goes, oh yeah, it's very good, very well written. Each person has their growth and has everything, and the parents are not... Okay, so I don't know about y'all, but a lot of the books I read growing up, there's this really heavy us versus them, kids versus adults, where the adults would just be cruel for no reason or deliberately not understanding the problem. And I really love that in this book, none of the adults are bad. None of the kids are bad. Everyone is a complex character, which is really sad that you have to go to a middle school book to find good, fleshed out, complex characters. Hi, Cookie. Go lay down, girl. Sorry about that. They're still working on the field out back, and I just freaking choked up. Anyway, but all the characters are nice and complex, and at first the dad kind of annoyed me, but then as you read him, it's like, wow, he is not a traditional man. He knits, he bakes, he paints everything. He's just this spastic, artistic guy who, is just, he's out there. They live in a house called the Egg, which looked like the whole reason it's named the Egg is the mom came and saw it because he'd inherited it from his grandparents when they were first dating, and she's like, oh, it looks like an Easter egg because he had painted it every imaginable color everywhere. And I'm like, okay, I like this guy. But also he pays attention to his daughter, and he really tries, and he stands up for her when it's needed, and I found that really good. The teachers were very good. They were stern. They were actual people. They didn't read like caricatures. Even the bullies read really well. As they were still bullies, but they weren't the type that's evil for evil's sake. I really enjoyed that, and there's a really cool twist that I don't want to spoil, but I'll keep it short and sweet. There are possessed scarecrows, and I think that's really cool. It gives all the vibes of childhood, fall festival, and farm tours and Halloween that I think is like really needed this time of year. So I really say go out and get it. Give it a try. Check it out from your local library if you can. It's a full series, and I do intend to read the rest of them as we go. So you'll probably see each month me pick up at least one more of these books because my library system has all of them. I'm trying to think if there's anything I forgot because I don't want to spoil it all. It is very, very well written. I think everyone can enjoy it. There's a lot there on every level. So, yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to see something different. I'm going to go deal with a squeaky dog who really wants to play and who really does not like to sit quietly for videos. So, Cookie, come here. Alright. So, see y'all next week. Bye.